and welcome to a special Angry Marks podcast covering the Best of the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan. I am the great Sudoku, and on the line with me this morning is the lovely and the talented Abby.
Good morning, everybody.
We got to open the action for the Best of the Super Juniors tournament at stupid o'clock this morning, and were there anything on the undercard matches you had wanted to talk about before we get to the official Block A matches?
Let me see. No, not really, except for, Tanahashi getting the shit beat out of him.
I definitely wanted to talk about that match. Ricochet botched a Tope con Giro drive where he kind of half somersaulted as he was in midair, and it looked ugly. But yeah, the real story with this match was after the match, Kenny Omega came out with a ladder and wrapped it around Tana's arm and hit the ladder with a chair and just continued. I think Chase Owens had put a cross arm bar on Tana with the ladder on top of it, and they did a number on him. It was a thing of beauty.
I have to wonder if this is to, just give Tana a break since he's been hurting for a while now. Give him a break until Dominion or maybe afterwards.
Put him out of action, kayfabe storyline wise, so to speak, that he's injured and he doesn't have to be on these undercards since he's not a junior and not part of the juniors tournament.
Yeah, and just kind of, give him a break to rest up and get ready for this god-awful ladder match that they're going to have.
Hopefully, yeah. I was kind of hoping he would get injured in that one and it would be the last one that we'd ever see in New Japan, but maybe in the interim, Tana Bear can take his place in matches.
Oh, Tana Bear.
Yeah, there was a woman in the crowd who had a Tanahashi teddy bear, and Kenny Omega with his new hairstyle with dueling braids on the back of his head. Not a good look. Stole this teddy bear from the woman, and he didn't quite decapitate it, and he did end up giving it back, but the abduction of Tana Bear was another highlight of the undercard.
Yeah, and the taunting of Tana Bear began at the beginning when Kenny was, swatting it with a mop.
Mopping it up.
Yeah, trying to swat it out of the building, and then, he snatched it at the end and gave it back. I wouldn't want to keep a Tana Bear either.
Although you might want to keep one after it had been beat up by Kenny Omega. That might add some value to it.
Yeah, possibly. Only if he ripped that stupid ponytail off the back of its head, though.
Decapitated. This is a Tana Bear that Kenny Omega decapitated for me.
Yeah, I would buy that bear.
Put that one on Pro Wrestling Tees. Make a T-shirt of a decapitated bear for Kenny Omega. I'd buy that shirt. But yeah, let's get to the action of the Best of the Super Juniors Block A matches. And we had our first match with David Finlay versus Rocky Romero. What would you like to say about this one, Abby?
Oh, this was just great. I don't know if David got some lessons in violence from his dad while he was, home for a little while, but he came out and just took it to Rocky.
Yeah, even before the match, he started attacking Rocky Romero. They rung the bell, and Romero barely made it back into the ring at the count of about 18. It was interesting to see from Finlay, though. The more interesting thing to see about this match was Romero's homage to Shinsuke Nakamura, where he draped Finlay over the top rope, did this over-exaggerated Nakamura taunt before doing the running knee lift to David Finlay in the corner, and he finished Finlay off with a running knee with a Bamaye, and it was interesting to see the Clown Prince of New Japan, Rocky Romero, doing a tribute to Shinsuke Nakamura like that.
Well, they've got that big old bromance going and always have, so it's not really surprising, but I think this might have been David's best match to date. He was incredibly good in this bout.
He came out attacking. He threw some very stiff forearms, had a nice backdrop suplex on Romero that Romero managed to kick out of it too. But again, Finlay looked strong in a loss, and it was great to see Romero paying homage to Shinsuke Nakamura in this match. We have Romero then at 2 points and Finlay with 0. Anything else you want to hit on this match before we move on? No? Okay. We'll move on to Gato versus Bushi. And what was interesting about this match was Bushi's Cesaro section in the crowd. There were people in an entire section just decked out in Bushi masks. It was surreal.
Well, the Bushi boys came out en masse today.
They did, but what was interesting about the match is once the match started, the fans were chanting for Gato. It's like there was this whole section that was there for Bushi, but the chants were clearly for Gato.
Well, if Gato was going to win any match, it was going to be this one.
Yeah, it was. I also found it very interesting in this match that Red Shoes took a bump, and while Red Shoes took a bump, Bushi did not miss Gato. Gato ended up winning with the Gato clutch pin, and Bushi didn't miss Gato until after the match was over.
Well, it would have been kind of obvious if I don't know if they're trying to hold off on any kind of interference or shenanigans or anything during the tournament.
And that
I would
was
think
one of
they
my
would want to make
questions.
it look, kind of legitimate.
And that's one of my questions. Is it going to be a disqualification if the referee sees Bushi use the mist, or does that only count against the Greek Kabuki in Battle Royals?
Yeah, it probably only counts against Kabuki.
They just don't like Kabuki. But yeah, Gato won with the Gato clutch pin. Yeah, that and then that stupid ref spot. But that's about all I had to say about this match.
Well, I mean, if Red Shoes doesn't take a bump during a match or get hit or looked at funny, something's wrong.
I was surprised Red Shoes got up as quickly as he did. Usually when Red Shoes takes a bump, I mean, you can go out and walk the dog and come back and he'll still be down. It's like a Red Shoes bump tends to be about as long as a Naito entrance, but not in this case.
The match was pretty good, but I don't know. I mean, I was expecting Gato to win for some reason.
Yeah, he's the booker. It just kind of seemed like he would opening night.
Yeah, but I mean, now I expect Bushi to kind of, run the table and win everything else.
Mount a comeback and get some wins under his belt now that he's got that initial loss out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did have that good sequence with that low blow mule kick and the code breaker that Gato managed to kick out of. He did get some offense in. He had a nice suicide dive to the ropes too. It wasn't a one-sided Gato affair. It was a decent match. Gato just ended up coming out on top, and Red Shoes took the shortest ref bump of his life.
Yeah, I had to wonder, though, when, Bushi went after Gato on the outside, if the fans in the front row finally got tired of wrestlers landing in their laps.
Oh, yeah, because he landed in their laps, and then earlier in one of the pre-card matches, Nagata got tossed into some women in the crowd.
It's like, you'd think they would have guardrails up, or the young lions would move a little bit quicker.
But yeah, the fans definitely got up close and personal with the wrestlers on the first night of Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, very up close and personal.
If you didn't want to be up close and personal with the wrestlers, this was not the day to be sitting in the front row.
No.
It was not your day. We'll move on to the next match. We had Ryusuke Taguchi taking on Matt Sydal, and oh my god, what the fuck? Taguchi comes to the ring with an inflatable mylar balloon of Big Bird from Sesame Street on his head, and he's playing a recorder.
There are no words.
What in the actual fuck?
With Taguchi, you never know.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible for him to wear something on his head that was more silly than that Muhammad Yone afro wig, but damned if he didn't find something that was sillier.
Yeah, but the thing was, I was actually rooting for Taguchi in this match.
Yeah, I was too, and he did put on a serious match. This wasn't a comedy match, and fairly early on in the match, he took an elbow to the face, an elbow to the head from Sydal that cut him over the eye. And ooh, that just did not look pretty.
No. But it was nice to see the old Taguchi back. The one that was a serious junior heavyweight, a former IWGP junior heavyweight champion, a lot less butt-based offense than normal.
Yeah, there was very, very little butt-based offense, and he hit the Dodon about 3 times in the match, but it was his third attempt that was finally a proper Dodon that wasn't botched, or the guy didn't land wrong, or it wasn't half-assed, pardon the pun. But yeah, Taguchi did end up picking up the win with his third and final proper Dodon of the match on Sydal. But again, it wasn't an all one-sided affair by Taguchi. It wasn't your typical ass bump offense. It wasn't won by an ass bump. And I don't believe Taguchi mocked Nakamura at all during this match.
No, I don't think so. I didn't see him do it one time.
I guess there's only one Nakamura mock allowed per New Japan show, and Rocky Romero was the one to do it this card.
I guess.
But yeah, it was something to see Taguchi work a serious style and not try to be Nakamura, not try to be funny, and not try to use his ass to decapitate people.
Yeah, it was a nice reminder that, Taguchi is a really good wrestler.
And I'd like to see more of that and less of him in stupid spots and
walking around with Big Bird on his head.
What the fuck? Yeah, if you haven't seen this and you have New Japan World, if for no other reason than this match, go and see what Taguchi came to the ring wearing. This Big Bird Mylar balloon, like he was giving a piggyback ride to. It was like on his head, almost like a hat, and playing a recorder.
Yeah, I think the fans or some people were saying that he was playing his actual theme on the recorder on the way to the ring.
Oh, that's just even more Taguchi.
Oh, well, he
That's
had
like
to get that
the
full
low rent
part
version
in
of
somewhere.
the low rent version of Xavier Woods and the trombone.
Oh, Lord.
A record, yeah. I mean, what can be even more low rent than a trombone? A recorder.
Poor Taguchi. But at least he won. I'm happy for him. He probably won't win anything else, but
Yeah, he did pick up a win over Matt Sydal, which is impressive too. It's not like he was fed a tomato can.
true.
And the main event of the night was a rematch from last year's final of the Best of the Super Juniors. We had Kyle O'Reilly taking on Kushida. And what would you like to say about this match, Abby?
Oh, God, it was so good. It was just, there aren't words for the match. I wish it had kind of ended a little bit differently with a different move, but it was great.
So do I, and yeah, that's the one negative I had about this match was the finish. O'Reilly ended up tapping out Kushida with a reverse cross arm breaker, which kind of flew in the face of the storytelling and the psychology of this match, as O'Reilly had really worked over Kushida's legs the entire match, and it would have made more sense if O'Reilly had tapped out Kushida with a leg submission rather than an arm submission. It was Kushida who was working on O'Reilly's arm the whole match. If Kushida had gotten the win by an arm submission, that would have made sense, but other than the finish, this was a great match. And one of my favorite spots in this match was where O'Reilly was up on the ring apron. He was running to give a shotgun dropkick to Kushida, who was seated on a chair over at ringside. And Kushida gets up, catches O'Reilly in midair with a cross arm breaker through the chair. Just ouch.
Yeah, that had to hurt. It had to hurt both of them because that was not a good landing.
No, because the chair was set up, and they both crashed through the chair as Kushida takes O'Reilly down to the floor onto the chair with a cross arm breaker as O'Reilly's coming with a shotgun dropkick. That had to hurt both of them.
My God, it was such a good match.
Yeah, Kushida worked that arm over, putting O'Reilly into the mat with that arm bar drop from the top turnbuckle. O'Reilly kicked out of that dragon suplex from Kushida at 2, which was, oh man, just great moves. Kushida kicked out of a fisherman's suplex at nearly a fingernails away from the count of 3 at like 2.99. Late in the match, there was Kushida floating through that super backdrop from O'Reilly, but O'Reilly managed to kick out again a fingernail at like 2.99. Kushida kicked out of a brainbuster from O'Reilly, and it went back and forth. And as I was saying, O'Reilly really worked the leg of Kushida in this match, and Kushida really worked the arm of O'Reilly in this match, which was kind of odd when O'Reilly tapped out Kushida with a reverse cross arm breaker. But other than that finish, this was a great match, and I'd highly recommend watching this match because it was a great match. Watching the match with Finlay and Romero just to see Romero doing Nakamura and just to see the bizarre shit that Taguchi came to the ring wearing and playing.
One thing about O'Reilly that I really like, he brings a style that's different than anybody else in the tournament. So seeing him go up against any of these guys, it's going to be different than anything else we see on the shows.
And for someone like me who's not really familiar with Ring of Honor, I see him doing, in New Japan, aside from the Super Juniors tournament, he's always in tag team action. Does he wrestle singles at all in Ring of Honor?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And is it the same style that he uses in Ring of Honor that he's using here in New Japan, or does he turn it up a notch?
He uses that real hard-hitting MMA style. A lot of strikes.
A very shoot
kicks.
style. Shoots, strikes, submissions.
Yeah.
Like early in this match, both guys were on the mat kind of trying to go for a guard. It was a very shoot-oriented thing. And kind of during the Matt Sydal match, I was saying, is it just me, or is it just more entertaining to watch the ROH guys when they're competing in New Japan?
I think in New Japan, it feels like it means more. My problem with Ring of Honor has always been, they've always have great wrestling, but there's nothing behind it. There's very little storyline. There's very little angle, and I'm not talking WWE bullshit, but it's kind of like it's just there to be there.
They're just having matches for the sake of having matches.
Having matches, yeah.
With nothing at stake and no stakes, and
great
and they're
match good
psychology. But if it's not building to something bigger, it's just a match in its own right. leading to nothing with no
Yeah, and
program.
it kind of gets boring a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and that's one of the reasons that I do like seeing guys like Matt Sydal and Ricochet and Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. Anyone else from Ring of Honor? Sydal? Anyone else in Ring of Honor that's in the tournament? No, I think that's it.
Let's see.
And what was the deal with Volador Jr. unmasking during his preliminary match?
Well, I think he wrestles in New Japan unmasked. I think he wrestles now in CMLL unmasked because he lost the mask in a match.
Did he? So he comes to the ring in the mask and then takes it off.
Yes.
He lost his match, but he comes to the mask. That was just bizarre seeing him unmasked after he had come to the ring in a mask. But if he's lost his match, that explains it.
It was a really good show, though. I really enjoyed it. Will Ospreay looked just so happy to be there.
Yeah, he was good to be there, and we got to see the fifth Beatle of Bullet Club, Chase Owens.
I finally figured out, and this was after I did my research for my primer piece that I did for Top Rope Press, why he's like he is. He was trained by Ricky Morton. So that kind of explains a whole lot to me.
Indeed,
about him.
He does kind of have that old school feel.
Yeah, and kind of a little bit, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, just a little bit different and not in a real good way.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with him.
I mean, I don't have a problem with him.
Not really fitting in with Bullet Club. I mean, his style is decent. Like last year in the Best of the Super Juniors, him and Barbaro Carbonaria were the two most pleasant surprises of the 2015 Best of the Super Juniors. It's like I came in going, who is this Chase Owens? And came out going, oh, damn, Chase Owens is one hell of a wrestler.
Yeah, he's good, but this whole Bullet Club thing, it's kind of like, Goto and Chaos. It just doesn't really fit. Square peg, round hole.
Yeah, this Gato and Chaos thing is just not getting over, and he was teaming with Chaos today, and it was just a horrible fit, and I'm not sure how long they're going to try to continue with this, but I hope there's an angle, storyline, something that happens soon where there's a rift in a division and he gets kicked out.
I could live with that.
And the next few days are not going to be televised on New Japan World for the Super Juniors?
No, they are not.
That is unfortunate.
Well, I mean, the shows will be on. They're just not going to be airing live.
What's the next date that they have live?
I think it is the 25th, if I am not mistaken.
Because what I want to do is... Okay. Because, I'm looking at the Progress on Demand site, and they have Best of the Super Juniors on the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, June 3rd, and June 5th. I don't know if that coincides with anything on New Japan World or not, but always a place to look as an alternative, I suppose, for when it's not on the network live.
I mean, they'll be up on New Japan World, let's see, probably about 6 or 8 hours after it airs. I don't know whether or not anybody else is going to be airing it live when they happen.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess the silver lining to that dark cloud is you don't have to get up at stupid o'clock to watch the matches.
Yes, the next live one is on the 27th at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Take a look and see. So yeah, the Best of the Super Juniors on the 23rd, which is interesting because it looks like they're kind of sandwiching the Super Junior matches in the middle of 8 and 6-man tag matches. It's like the Best of the Super Juniors matches for the 23rd don't look like they're the main events, but it looks like it's another Block A match, which is, no, is this the one we just watched? No. This is for Monday the 23rd. It's having Kushida versus Rocky Romero, Taguchi versus David Finlay, Kyle O'Reilly versus Gato, and Matt Sydal versus Bushi.
Well, tomorrow's show will be the B block matches.
Let's take a look at that one. Yeah, what is on tomorrow's show? Again, it looks like it's getting sandwiched in between. We have Will Ospreay taking on Chase Owens, Volador Jr. taking on Beretta, Jushin Thunder Liger taking on Bobby Fish, and Tiger Mask taking on Ricochet.
And I'm honestly not really interested in any of those matches. Liger and Fish might be good.
Yeah, Liger and Fish will be good, and I think Ospreay and Owens will be good. It's like kind of like you didn't have the Los Ingobernables coming to the ring with Bushi. I don't think you're going to have Bullet Club coming to the ring with Chase Owens and pulling any kind of shenanigans.
I hope they keep the shenanigans out of it.
You brought that up, and I hope so too, because that would make the match between Osprey and Owens so much better and so much more worth watching than if they have Bullet Club and interference and crap like that.
Volador Jr. and Beretta might be good. Their styles are so different.
Indeed, yeah, Beretta's probably one of the tallest competitors in Best of the Super Juniors, which will be interesting to watch. But yeah, Fish and Liger, an interesting contrast of styles there. Tiger Mask and Ricochet, not really looking forward to that. As much of a fan of Ricochet as I am, I just don't see much potential in a match against Tiger Mask.
No, I think, and I said this, Tiger Mask is a veteran. I think he's going to be fodder for a lot of the younger talent.
Pretty much, yeah. It's kind of like, to a lesser extent, Jushin Thunder Liger, where Liger is a legend and has held the belt numerous times. Tiger Mask is kind of a lesser legend who hasn't held the belt as much and is just kind of there to put other guys over.
Yeah, but there's been like 4 Tiger Masks, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is Tiger Mask 4. I'm only talking about Tiger Mask 4. When I say Tiger Mask, I'm not talking about the previous incarnations of Tiger Mask.
What's the deal with Romero coming out in his black Tiger Mask these days?
Yeah,
he's done that over the last several shows.
I thought he only did that when he was in matches against Tiger Mask, but apparently not.
Maybe it fits into his whole screaming psycho at the end of every match.
And he didn't scream anything in Spanish or Japanese in this match, did he? That he had today.
No, he just pretty much trash talked and called himself a psycho after the match. He was getting pretty well beat on during the match. Didn't have much time to trash talk.
He just channeled Nakamura instead of trash talking.
A sloppy Nakamura.
It's good to see him not doing the trash talking again in a singles junior heavyweight tournament. It's like that's something that plays better in 6-man tags or 8-man tags or tag team matches when he's part of Roppongi Vice. But it's good to see him not work the comedy in so much during an official A block match for Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah, I think it's good to see these guys in a different kind of light. Especially Rocky and
Taguchi,
Gato to an extent, even though his random cussing just makes all the matches worthwhile. That dumbass beard.
Oh God, can you imagine a match between Gato and Juice Robinson? They had a swear jar.
Oh God, I hate Juice. I'm sorry. I liked him when he first got to New Japan because I thought he was going to get a chance, and he's definitely being used better in New Japan than he was in NXT, but he's so damn loud and obnoxious.
Let's touch on this then, because I really thought Juice Robinson had match of the night in Lionsgate 2 against Go Shiozaki. What were your thoughts on that match?
It was a Juice match. I couldn't get into it. And that's weird because it was a really good match. I just couldn't really get into it.
You just couldn't get past the fact that Juice Robinson was one of the competitors.
Kind of, sort of. But, I mean, I don't know. I just can't get into his matches these days.
It was just really interesting the way he elevated his game and the way that the false finishes went back and forth between the two. And it was one of those things where I was thinking, Juice Robinson is a guy who really doesn't fit in anywhere in New Japan, but damned if he couldn't get himself over if he went to Noah.
Well, maybe he needs to go to Noah.
Because, he doesn't fit that strong style that New Japan likes to work, but he could work a much more sports entertainment / faster paced match style that is more conducive to Noah.
Well, that's what he's accustomed to.
Yeah, and I just really didn't think that the main event on Lionsgate, the 8-man tag, offered much at all.
I didn't understand why I know Lionsgate is Nagata's pet project and all, but if you're having something that is supposed to showcase young talent, the main event does not need to be, a bunch of old guys. Even though I love the Ornery Uncles, I adore them and can't get enough of Nakanishi, but they don't need to be headlining a show like that. If you're going to showcase young talent, then showcase young talent.
Right. If you're going to showcase young talent, have a young tag team take on Nakanishi and Nagata and have the young tag team go over.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. Especially with Nagata wearing a title. They're not going to lose.
Well, I don't see what the harm is in having, say you have a young up-and-coming Noah tag team, or you're putting together 2 young lions. I don't see the harm in having somebody who's not officially in the New Japan promotion beat Nagata in a tag match, despite Nagata holding, one of the dumbest singles titles in New Japan. It just doesn't his ego might not let him, but I think in the minds of the fans, it's not going to harm him at all.
Well, that's the thing with New Japan. They don't let their champions lose unless it means something. Just like they don't that's like you watch the Ring of Honor and New Japan shows that everybody bitches about. New Japan's top tier talent is not going to lose unless it really matters. And in these Ring of Honor shows, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it mattered when, Ishii lost the television title to Bobby Fish. That's why he lost, because there was a title at stake. And because
Right.
that title really did need to go back to Ring of Honor.
That too. I mean, yeah, you could make that argument that, the last time a big name lost was when Okada lost the title to Naito.
But, there's a story there.
Right. That's because there is a title change. I see what you're saying, that New Japan tends not to have guys who are big names or guys who are title holders lose unless there is a title change going on or something to further a storyline.
Yeah, it's not WWE where you have your champion lose 50 to 60% of the time. Unless he's, the walk-in shampoo commercial.
I mean, granted, you did have your IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion lose today, but it is a singles tournament, and he's not going to go undefeated in the tournament if he's the champion regardless.
No, and he doesn't need to. That's what I couldn't understand with a lot of people on Twitter this morning. It's, oh, God, Kushida's got to win. He's got to win. He's already the damn champion. He's not going to make it to the finals this year. It doesn't make any sense. I don't see O'Reilly making it to the finals this year.
Who are your picks for Block A and Block B?
Bushi and Ospreay.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying Kushida and Ospreay, but we both have Ospreay coming out of Block B.
If Will can work through the injuries that he's got right now and make it through, then I see him winning the whole thing.
It would be nice. I'm definitely interested to see his debut, and I think it will be a nice debut to see him work Chase Owens. It's like I don't think there's anybody in Block B that I'd rather see him debut against except maybe Ricochet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's like I'm looking forward to his match against Chase Owens. I'm looking forward to his match against Ricochet. Bobby Fish has some potential against Jushin Liger versus Will Ospreay has some potential too, but yeah, I don't really see much going on with Ospreay. Maybe Volador Jr. just for the clash of styles, but yeah, against Beretta and Tiger Mask, yeah, just kind of
I don't know. I think he and Beretta might be fun. Because sometimes I like watching those clash of styles, and other times it's like there's just no chemistry there. They're just too different to really mesh well in the ring.
Yeah, to see how that works out, and hopefully that works out well with singles tournaments. Sometimes, especially in 6-man and 8-man tag team matches, it can just be a complete clusterfuck. But
yeah,
with one-on-one, it's kind of under a bigger microscope. It's either do or die.
But if today's show, this morning's show, wherever the hell you are, was any indication of the next 3 weeks, it's going to be fun.
It should be good, yeah. Even if you have to suffer through some insufferable Captain fucking New Japan matches on the undercard, the actual Block A matches tonight were great, and the Block B matches should be good too. But yeah, anything you want to say in closing on Captain New Japan?
Can we send Captain New Japan and Yoshi Hunter Hearst Helmsley Tatsu over to Noah or Siberia or somewhere?
Oh, God. I mean, we should send them to, what was that, DDT, where they do the Poseidon Adventure Splash match. They belong there. But yeah, the whole Yoshihatsu Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick just sucks. It's like, okay, you've got the word Hunter. It doesn't mean you have to spread your arms to a cross and spit water as you enter the ring.
And use the pedigree. I mean, I don't get the whole, I just don't get it.
I don't get Yoshitatsu, period, but...
I mean, I could see the whole Bullet Club Hunter gimmick if AJ was still there, but it makes no sense now.
Yeah, it would make a little more sense, but then what the fuck is Captain New Japan doing wearing Bullet Club Hunter gear?
Well, he's just an idiot.
When's the last time he won a match?
I don't know. Has he ever won a match? I mean, seriously, has he ever won a match? It's not something I'm going to spend my time researching, but it's like, Lord.
But, yeah, we got to see Fale kill him in the 6-man or 8-man tag team match that he was in.
I feel bad for Fale. He's kind of just lost in the shuffle.
He is, and I'm hoping at the G1 Climax this year he'll have a strong showing, and maybe they'll reward him for sticking around for so long.
Maybe.
You know, he doesn't even have to win it outright, but if he comes in, say, second or third in his block, maybe 2 or 4 points behind the overall winner in that block, I would be satisfied with that, as long as he has a nice, strong showing.
He's just kind of lost right now.
Lost in the shuffle, especially now that Tama Tonga has Tonga Roa Loa.
His little brother, just his little brother. We'll just say that because it's either Tangaloa or Tangaroa. I don't know. I think it's Tongaroa.
Camacho Roa.
Somebody.
But yeah, say what you will about Yoshitatsu, but he's still better than 2/3 of the Raw announce crew.
I don't know, with that pink streak in his hair and his Triple H shit, it's not working for him.
Yeah, you need to stop taking fashion tips from Evil.
I noticed Evil had 4 different colors in his hair tonight. Pink, purple, blonde, and black.
I just think some of the purple is fading to pink, and he's got a diet blonde, a diet purple. But yeah, Evil was Evil tonight, for those of you wondering, in full crushed velvet and eyeliner and strobe light laser fingers.
And see, he's another one that doesn't seem to really fit into the group he's in.
He seems almost like a cartoon caricature.
I mean, unless he's supposed to be the gatekeeper or the crypt keeper or
like a Kevin Sullivan Taskmaster, but Kevin Sullivan pulled it off a lot better.
He just doesn't fit with Sonata and Bushi and Naito. I mean,
Sonata seems like, your legitimate punk rocker or biker type guy, and Bushi just seems very dark. He wears the dark mask now, the black lipstick, and does the mist and acts like a heel. But yeah, Evil just is silly and over the top and crushed velvet and dollar store sky.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see when, Milano finally goes batshit on Naito.
Yeah, because that was another thing, that Naito came through the crowd and then snuck up behind Milano, tapped him on the back, wanted him to go and hold the ring ropes open. Milano reluctantly did, and as he did, Naito put the headset on and was on commentary. Milano holds the ring ropes open, waits for Naito to come. Naito eventually comes to the ring apron, and they both tell each other to get in the ring, and finally Naito decides to get in the ring after about 8 years, and Milano goes back to commentary. But yeah, one day Milano's either going to snap or he's going to join Los Ingobernables.
Well, it's not like he can do anything physical, so I have a feeling he'll just smack him around a little bit. Do something. It's
leading to something, either kind of a snapping and a clobbering of Naito, or a snapping in the other way and him kind of becoming like the manager of Los Ingobernables, or the heel commentator.
There's already like too many Ingobernables anyway.
There's one too many, and that's Evil.
Well, yeah, Evil and Goto need to form their own little group.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
They can be NJPW's version of the Social Outcasts.
Oh, man.
You can throw Captain New Japan and Yoshitatsu in with them.
Well, at least we have good wrestling, this morning and tomorrow afternoon before we have to deal with crap Sunday night.
Oh, that's right. Crap. That's right. We do have that.
Crap.
That horror. We do have Extreme Rules coming up. Why shit? I almost forgot about that. All this good wrestling action in New Japan made me forget that there's a shitty WWE pay-per-view tomorrow night.
Then allow me to interrupt and rain on your parade just a little.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Since it was brought up a few minutes ago, I looked up Mr. Captain New Japan's record. He's closing in on 1,000 career matches.
How many wins?
He has 725 losses. 233 wins.
Oh, wow.
When was his last win?
His last win was on March 8th. He defeated Takumi Honjo.
One of the young lions?
No, I don't think he's a young lion. Or he might be. I don't know. I'm surprised he's actually won a match in the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, that was the last singles match he won. He won a tag team match about a month ago as well. If I can find it here again.
No,
not that. Here it is. April 20th. He tag teamed with Yoshitatsu and they defeated Taguchi and Kanzamudi.
These must be just obscure house shows that aren't on the network. These must be those shows that don't make it to air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't see Captain New Japan winning on television anywhere.
Yeah, this was a Road to Wrestling Dontaku show.
Oh, yeah, it was probably one of those untelevised ones. There were a bunch of those. He gets these like Road to House shows, King of House Show. But yeah, when it's when it's on the network and you see Captain New Japan in any type of match, you know he's going to be the one eating the pin.
Yes.
There's just no doubt about that.
That's tradition.
Also on his record, only 3 draws.
Well, there aren't many draws in New Japan anyway.
Yeah, it was very odd to see during Lionsgate 2 that the second match of the evening that went to a time limit draw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last time. I've been watching New Japan for over a year now on the network, and this is the first time I can remember seeing something Broadway to a time limit draw. Granted, it was, like a 10-minute time limit draw?
I think 15.
Something like that. Yeah, it was just very odd seeing a match go to a time limit draw.
Yeah, apparently Mr. New Japan has 4 wins total so far in 2016. His all-time high is 37 wins in a year.
My God.
That was in 2012 against 103 losses. Last year, he was 23 wins, 124.
Lord have mercy. Poor Captain New Japan.
I'm sorry, 23 wins, 101 losses.
Poor Captain New Japan.
Poor Captain New Japan. I don't even want to call him the Zack Ryder of New Japan because Zack Ryder actually has fans.
Oh, Captain New Japan has a lot of fans. That's the scary part. People actually like him.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess
I want to know when Yano is coming back to New Japan. Have they shipped him off to Noah for good?
Maybe for Dontaku, I would think.
He needs to leave Noah and come back home.
Yeah, you're worried about Lance Archer killing him.
Well, he said he was going to rip his thumbs off, and, I asked him yesterday on Twitter if he did, and he said he got to, he let him keep his thumbs, but, he damn near killed him. So,
ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, one more thing that I want to touch on with Best of the Super Juniors. We had, is David Finlay going to be the Tomoaki Hanma of the Best of the Super Juniors?
Probably, because he's lost so many matches.
He has, and last year he was winless in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, kind of like Hanma was 2 years ago. So, will David Finlay get his first win in the Best of the Super Juniors tournament this year? And if so, will he be heralded and carried off like he won the whole tournament like Hanma was when he got his one win?
I hope he wins at least one. This Finlay losing streak is getting old.
Yeah, usually he's losing to Jay White, but yeah, with the Best of the Super Juniors, like, who do we have in Block A again that he could beat? Maybe Taguchi? I don't know. We'll see how Taguchi continues to wrestle. Maybe Gato?
I would like to see him beat both of them.
If Gato's
I don't see him
generous.
beating Gato, since Gato's been booking him to lose left, right, and center for months now.
Maybe Rocky Romero?
He's already wrestled Rocky.
No, that's right. That was tonight. Who else is in there? Yeah, I don't see him losing to Seidel. I don't see him losing to Kushida. I don't see him losing to Bushi or Kyle O'Reilly.
He might beat Taguchi.
Yeah,
I think if he's gonna win a match, it's gonna be against Taguchi.
It's gonna be against that fool Taguchi, and we'll see what kind of weird shit Taguchi comes out with on his head. And God, who knows? I mean, I would hate to be the guy who has to budget for his props.
Well, they're kind of cheap, so. I mean, that balloon was probably like $5.
True. And that recorder probably costed less than $5.
Yeah, probably like 99 cents.
Cost all of 300 yen.
Probably get his props the same place they get Evil's.
Yeah, just probably the whatever it is, the
Party City or whatever.
The 99 yen store. Yeah, anything else you'd want to touch on with New Japan, on Lionsgate, or on Best of the Super Juniors, today's show, upcoming shows?
Nope, I'm just actually looking forward to it. I'm going to be extremely busy and tired for the next 3 weeks, which is nothing unusual, but still.
Yeah, it's like we'll be getting up at stupid o'clock a lot of the time, but then a lot of the time, too, we'll just be watching it in the afternoon or evenings when they decide to release it on New Japan World. But yeah, on weekends we may do podcasts like this, but on Thursdays we'll definitely be talking about the Best of the Super Juniors tournament that's going on as well. So for myself,
which will be fine with me.
Anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
If anybody needs to know anything about the Best of the Super Junior tournament, like the history and the basics and a biography of each of the competitors, I have done a nice little Best of the Super Juniors primer on Top Rope Press that everybody can go find. It just kind of gives you a nice overview of the tournament. And if you've never watched it before, it's a good way to familiarize yourself with what's going to be happening over the next 3 weeks.
Which, yeah, it would be good to familiarize yourself with that because it's not like your typical WWE bracketed tournament. It is a round-robin tournament.
Yes. And that's my only plug. And y'all can find me on Twitter at Abby A pretty much all the time being snarky and sarcastic.
You can find me at Great Sudoku on Twitter, and I'll also plug njpwworld.com, best 999 yen you can spend a month, and the place where you can watch